live from Indiana. It's Thursday night. Do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do-do. Wait, why are we playing Family Feud? Why did my brain go there? Hi, everybody. Hello, Gina. Ryan, what are you doing online? Ryan's at work, everybody. Everybody go tell Ryan's boss that he's on the live stream and not working. Rai, you're supposed to be building cars, you naughty little boy. You're gonna get a spanking. Hi, Rose. Hi, Emma Jane. Hi, Jan and Misty and Britt. Hi, Melissa. Oh my goodness, how are we all doing this week? Have you been like me and procrastinating crocheting? Hang on, let me plug in my little light here so that it's not so dark. I have too much going on my desk. Oh, that's bright. Let there be light. That's an attractive angle. Okay, there we go. We've got some light now. Hello, Maria and Front Porch Light. All right, hopefully we do not have too many YouTube/Wi-Fi buffering issues tonight. Gina, thank you. I do sound a lot better today. The first half of this week was really rough, not gonna lie to you guys. I don't know. It was just like a couple of days where I just like didn't want to do anything. I just laid in bed pretty much all day doing nothing. But you know what? Every once in a while, sometimes it's good to have that, because normally if you're anything like me anyways, you push yourself to like past your breaking point, and then the actual breaking point is so much worse. That is what happened to me this week. I was just under a lot of stress with everything going on in my life, with all the house stuff and working and packing orders and all of that stuff. It got to be too much, and the two brain cells that have not left me yet said, we're going on vacation, see you in a few days. And so I just laid there for a while watching Judge Judy. Binge watching Judge Judy. That's all I've done for the past 2 days. But the good news is that yesterday and today I did do some work on some little baby hats for the Sawyer stitches. So I will show you all of the things that I actually made for the project in Monday's video and this week's makes, because to be honest with you guys, it's the only thing that I've made this week. I've done no plushie crochet so far. So I will show you that in Monday's video so that I actually have a video to show you guys. Thank you so much, Carol. I appreciate it. Hi, Not Made by Brittany. My hair bone's cute. Thanks, Michelle. Fun fact for you. This is pretty much my staple hairstyle. It's either in a bun like this, or it's in like a ballerina bun where I twist it around itself and then stick a pencil or something through it. My husband heard you say my name and said, did you get a shout out? I want a shout out too. Well, what's your husband's name, Britt? Otherwise, I'm just going to make up a name for him. Is his name Dougal? Dougal, married to Britt? Hi. There's your shout out. Hi, Mandalora. Can't be around long as the kid has school tomorrow. Darn it, it is a school night, isn't it? Well, I apologize, you guys, for rescheduling weekend in a while, because next weekend I'm going to start crocheting. Here's the blanket that I'm working on, by the way. Anyways, I was going to say, so next weekend I have Fall Festival. The time has finally come. And then after Fall Festival, I am having the Monday after, I I'm having my surgery. I finally got my surgery date for Monday, September 22nd, to have my stomach and hernia repaired. Not really looking forward to that. And if it's anything like any of the other laparoscopic surgeries that I have had, it is going to be a pain, to say the least, to recover from, because they bloat you with gases, because a laparoscopic surgery, without getting too technical, because if you did not know this, I am not a doctor, but they do it with a robot. So they don't, like in the olden days, they, you know, like cut you open to take out your gallbladder or whatever. But when I had my gallbladder removed, they just created like 4 little incisions, one for the actual robot arm, one for like the sucky to actually get the thing out of there, and then 2 for lights, or a light and a camera. And then everything was done like internally, which is so crazy cool that robots can do that now, and that we have that technology. But in order to do that, they have to blow your abdomen up with like this gas so that they have room to work in there, and that hurts so bad when you're recovering. It is awful. You can feel it like in your shoulder blades. You have like these giant gas bubbles, and it is just like a stabbing, shooting pain. And it is awful. It is not fun. Every single time I've had to have some sort of laparoscopic surgery, the recovery has been worse than the last. So all of this to say that next week I'm going to be pretty much out, bedridden for the entire week. And then the next Saturday is Celeste's first birthday, which I can hardly believe. And then after that, oh wait, no. The weekend after surgery, I have a little trip that I can't talk too much about because it does involve YouTube. And the week after that is Celeste's first birthday. So I've got a busy couple of weeks coming up. And you know what? It's good for me to get out of the house. Would I prefer to get out of the house and not have to be cut open? Yes. But has to be done. Carrie's here. Hey girlfriend, I can imagine the cramping. Oh my gosh, it's so bad. It's like menstrual cramps all over your entire torso. It is awful. No amount of gas X or anything like can solve it. And this is getting really like TMI, but it's me, so we're all used to it by now. But no amount of actually like passing gas helps it. Like, it has to dissolve on its own inside your body. So, not fun time. I love how you are plus size tall lady. That I am a plus size tall queen. I own it. I have a beautiful little girl. Well, wait. And you have a beautiful little girl with your hubby. I love how he crochets too. You work so great together. Thank you, Emma, for the kind compliment. Yes, Rai is my BFF, and we make pretty cute kids, if I do say so myself. Abby, you took care of your friend. Yeah, it's awful. Like, I don't even, on the pain scale, like, I have given birth. I have been through labor. I had a C-section because I had Sawyer naturally with labor and contractions and all that. And then Celeste was a scheduled C-section because, needless to say, I didn't want to have to go through having a stillbirth again. So we scheduled her C-section for a week before her due date. She did not come early. She was just, that was the best decision, honestly, having a scheduled C-section. I showed up in the morning. I got a good night's sleep before. I showed up in the morning at my appointment time. They did all my paperwork, got my IV in, and 45 minutes later, I had a healthy baby. Like, it was so chill. The recovery was harder, but it was definitely the much easier route than having to labor again. So I always say, Sawyer came out the slip and slide, Celeste came out the sunroof. I got the best of both worlds. I got the Hannah Montana special when it came to giving birth. But yeah, no time that I gave birth, nor even recovering from my C-section, was the pain worse than having your abdomen blown up with gas. Melissa, congratulations on having your unicorn pattern featured on the Cozy Buckeye Pattern Roundup. Thank you. Yeah, April and I are pretty good friends now. I dare say that we're good friends now. And she reached out and was like, hey, I'm doing this video. You want to have a pattern in it? And I said, heck yeah, here you go. Hi, Sharon. Emma says that you don't celebrate fall as much as the UK. It's harvest, and at school we used to do harvest festival baskets and give to local old folk. I feel like that's kind of the same here, Emma, but it does depend on the part of the US that you're in. I know some places like the East Coast and the Midwest US definitely lean more into like the harvesty. I feel like it's because we actually get change of color here. Like where I grew up on the West Coast of the United States, like the colors did not change. Like the two seasons were hot and less hot. So it was a lot less about like harvest season, fall. It was more just like the weather's a little bit cooler and we have Thanksgiving. Here it's like a whole vibe. Oh, speaking of vibes, look at what I'm wearing today. I'm wearing my trick or treat give me yarn shirt. There's fluff on it. Here we go. Yay! It's so cute. I opted for this sand color one. Oh, uh-oh, I'm running over my working yarn. Hang on. Okay, there we go. I can't stay to watch now, but I'll catch up when I can. Just wanted to say you look beautiful. And thank you, Laura. You guys, I have not been wearing makeup lately. I have not been because usually if I wear makeup too much, then my skin rebels and breaks out like crazy. And I've been having that a little bit, as you can tell on my chin. So I've been cooling it with makeup. So the last couple episodes, I have had bare face. Britt says, I love the shirt. It's so cute. Thank you, Britt. This is one of my newer merchandise items. You can get it at thecelestialhomebody.com. Oh, I should make sure that my notifications are turned on. Just in case we get any orders. Paisley wants in. Oh, never mind. It's my mom. Hi. Sorry. Oh, I just texted you back. They're in my purse.
Where's your purse?
Hanging up in the laundry room.
Oh, I didn't even see it. Okay. Do you want her in here?
Yeah, they can stay in here. That's fine.
Okay. Hi.
Mom says hi.
Is Nick on there?
Is Nick here? Nick, I think you're my mom's favorite. You're her #1 fan because you gave her a compliment last time.
No, Nick is Chris's brother.
Oh, wait. Who was it who told you that you look like my sister last time? Ah. Yeah, Nerdy Peach says it's the she shed sound alarm. Every time we hear the cha-ching on the phone, that's the she shed savings fund. Everybody's saying hi. You're getting hi from Scotland, from Emma.
Oh, Scotland! The wee little people! Scotland.
You're embarrassing me! Go away! Where's the baby? God.
She's locked in her car seat. I gave her water. She's
Joyful
fine.
Josie says hi from Missouri.
Oh, okay. Oh, the wee little people from Missouri. I don't know what to say about Missouri. The show me state.
I hope that they can hear you with this mic. Oh my god. Okay.
Hold on.
Bye.
The wee little people of Scotland.
I demand a DNA test. I'm not related. Go.
Here's your DNA test right here.
Go.
Right here.
My keys are in my purse in the laundry room.
Bye.
Hi, Sharon from Australia. You can hear that? I'm sorry. You guys are so sweet. My mom does look young. My mom had me when she was 28 years old. She was as old when she had me as I was when I had Sawyer. Hi, Anastasia. Mom's hair is looking on point today. I will let her know. I will tell her. She has a new boyfriend. So, and I think that she came from his place earlier. So the fact that her hair is looking good as a daughter That's good. Oh my gosh. Hi, Maria. You two crack me up. Well, I'm sorry. Hi, Crochet by Kusa. Yarn Angel. You missed my question mark. When do you need the blankets? Oh, I'm planning on taking... Let me look at my calendar. Hang on. I am going to plan to take them, I think, the second week on October. Let me give you an exact date, though. Third weekend of October. Okay, I'm going to plan on taking them to the hospital October 18th. That's a Saturday. So, depending on where you're shipping from, I would probably err on the side of shipping it to me the week before or the week of if you're in Midwest USA. Things tend to get here really quick. Bob Bumhug. My brain stalled for a second there reading your username. You said you love my shirt. Thank you. Trick or treat, give me yarn. Wait, I want to hear that in your Scottish accent. Can you say it in your Scottish accent for me? Brilliant, thank you. Oh my gosh. I will get them into you. Oh, you're in California? California, it does not take that long to get here. Like 3-4 days, maybe. So you're good. If you want to wait until like that Monday, the 13th to send them in, that's good. I have already gotten a couple. If you have sent me some, I already have them. They are safe and sound. Are my lights flickering back there? Keep an eye on those lights. Say hi to the ghosts if you see them flickering. But if you have sent me any blankets or hats, I do have them safe and sound here, and I will take them with all my stuff. Have you watched the new spinoff for Outlander? I haven't, Carrie. I've been waiting to watch it because I only like to binge watch shows. I'm not about having to wait in between weeks. So I actually am waiting until they're completely done with the season and until they're done with the final season of Outlander 2 and all of that has premiered on Starz. Then I will watch it all. I know. I'm really just prolonging it. Part of that is because I don't want it to end because that show, oh, I love that show so much. And I'm just scared that it's going to end and then I'm going to never find anything to fill the Scottish void. Besides, of course, actually going to Scotland, which we definitely want to do. We're thinking about maybe going next year. I've talked about this before on live streams, but we're talking about maybe going to Scotland or just the UK in general. We'll probably hang out there for a few weeks and visit multiple places around August for Sawyer's what would have been his 3rd birthday, going and celebrating him there. Nothing hits the same as season 1 Outlander. Season 1 Outlander is superb. I highly recommend Outlander. It's so good. So it will become your entire personality. It will make you want to sell your entire life and move to a little cottage in the Highlands of Scotland. And that's not a bad thing. Not a bad thing at all. Do you watch The Summer I Turned Pretty? I have not. What is that on? Is that on Netflix? Look at Jovi staring into your guys' soul. Her eyes are reflecting in my light. Yes, we would love to go for the Edinburgh Festival and the Royal Military Tattoo. And celebrate his birthday there. I should scoot back so that you guys can see. So that you guys can actually see me. You see my little pink snowball microphone? Doesn't it look like a Hostess snowball? I'll give you guys a little pet there. It's on Amazon. Okay, the Amazon is one of the streaming services that I do not have. I pay for YouTube Premium because YouTube is like my main form of entertainment. It's what I watch Judge Judy on, and I'm all about the Judge Judy. I have Netflix and Hulu Disney Plus, but we don't pay for those. We actually get them for free with our T-Mobile memberships. So those are pretty cool perks. They just started offering the Netflix a couple of couple weeks ago. Who's giving me money? Yarn Angel, thank you so much. Love to you and hubby and Celeste. I so enjoy you in the video. Thank you, Yarn Angel, with the little unicorns too, giving some little extra magic cheer. I appreciate that so much. Putting it into my She Shed savings account. I think that I have officially a name for the She Shed. And I feel like to some of you it might be a little disappointing because we had so many amazing name options, but I wanted to ultimately pick something that would age like fine wine. So something naughty, although that's fun, you know, I might eventually grow up. Not anytime soon, but eventually. So I think that we're just going to call it the Celestial Studio. It's basic, yes, but I like the alliteration. You know, it has a little ring to it. And I thought that it would be super cool to get like a neon sign, like in like warm white, to go above the couch area that says the Celestial Studio. And then maybe one day if I ever decide I want to do podcasts or anything, we can have people come and sit on the cozy cosmic couch IRL underneath the Celestial Studio sign. That'd be badass. That'd be so cool. Will you paint the inside of the shed? I love the painting you did the other. Oh, thank you. It would actually have it right here. It would be really cool if I did like wallpaper painting like this. Here's the thing. I have been saying that I have wanted to paint a mural a la the Sistine Chapel on our dining room ceiling since we moved in 3 years ago, and I've never gotten around to it. So here's my fear, Carrie, that if I say I'm going to do some sort of like mural painting, it's never going to get done and then it's going to stay white forever. Or I'm going to get impatient and then end up picking wallpaper later. And I would rather get wallpaper and stuff done before I move in all the furniture. It's just going to make it easier. And before I hang stuff on the walls, you know? So, yeah. Even though it was against the curb, but wait. Emma, I'm so lost. Okay, but you're going... Get back in the car? Okay, I have no idea what you're saying, Emma. But if you are saying that you are leaving and good night, then good night. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. Yeah, the neon sign in the couch. I'm hyped for it. And then everyone's going to ask you in every video when it's done. Yeah. Because you guys are not going to let me rest until it's done. And you know what? I'm not even going to let myself rest until it's done. Let's be honest here. But that would be really cool if I painted it. Although the technique that I use for the stars on this, it's just, you just get like a 2-inch painter's brush. What other kind of brush is there? Hairbrush, I guess? Okay, painter's brush. You dip it in paint, you dip it in water, you dip it in paint, swirl it around a little bit to mix the paint and the water, and then you use your hand and you like flick the brushes onto the canvas, and that creates the little splattered dots so that you don't have to individually go in and make every single dot. I did do that with some of them. The ones that I wanted to be like extra poppy, I went back in with a fine brush and painted, and then of course I hand painted the little 4-point stars. But that would be very messy if I did that actually like on the wallpaper to get that star effect. Yeah, I don't know about that. I would buy so much stationery if you ever make some with your art. Haley, I have been thinking about doing stationery. The thing is, though, I would need to find a reliable print-on-demand thing for it, because as it stands right now, I do not have the space or just the capacity to produce that myself in-house Look at me sounding like a real professional. I would need to outsource that because I could not do that here in my little studio office. So if I do go down the route of stationery, which like I said, I definitely want to do, it's going to be a couple of weeks or months because I'm going to need to find a reliable printer source for that sort of thing. But I would like to do that. Do you paint in acrylic? Yes, that is acrylic. I just have zero patience and don't let it dry in between coats. That's how I get the depth of color. To get the background, I just used my my palette spatula, and I just mixed colors on my palette and then threw them up on the canvas and then used my palette spatula, just kind of did this and mixed them all together. I'm so non-technical when it comes to art, you guys. I'm so unserious about it. And the thing is, the irony too is like, I took art classes like in college, and like I took actual art classes, and I couldn't tell you anything about actual how art is done. Oh my gosh. I gotta catch up on chat. You could make a paint of that and turn it into the wallpaper. I have considered that as well, actually. And I did look into how much it costs to do custom wallpaper, and it is a pretty penny. It is expensive. So the good news is that I have the actual painting here. So what I'm going to do is I'll probably use the same wallpaper that I have in my current office, the clouds. Use that in the shed, but then I have the actual canvas here, so I will frame this and then hang it up in a nice prominent spot. Or I kind of like the idea of just leaving it on my easel and then setting my easel up in like some aesthetic corner of the shed with some plants and twinkly lights and a little stool to make it look like I actually sit there and paint, even though I don't. I sit on my couch normally and binge watch Judge Judy. But you know, make it look like a little aesthetic corner. She shed. What did we get? Who is it? Somebody who's going to be twinning with me, perhaps? It is Angela! Angela got a Trick or Treat Give Me Yarn shirt in the ice gray color. That's a really pretty color. I was debating on getting this color, which I think is called sand, or the ice gray. I opted for this one because I thought that the ice gray would clash with my pasty-ass skin tone. What's up with the microphone? Oh, this little fuzzy thing. My little snowball, my little microphone that's wearing a Russian hat. Yeah, this little fluffy is to make sure that I don't spit on you guys and that you hear it. My art teacher used to take all the brushes from me because I was too particular and detailed. He was trying to encourage me to loosen up a little. He'd leave me with my hands and some card scraps. Maybe, Emma, you know what? That is great reinforcement that maybe how I do things in the art world is not wrong. It's just unique to me. And that is actually interesting when you say it like that, because in every other aspect of my life, I am very type A, meticulous, need things in a certain order at a certain time, schedule oriented, OCD, actually diagnosed OCD. I'm not just saying that because sometimes I get accused of like, stop saying that you're OCD. I actually am OCD. Probably shouldn't be flexing about that, but normally in my everyday life, that is how my brain functions. But then when it comes to art, I just blah. And I think that is why art speaks to me so much, because it's the one aspect of the life that I live where I don't have to put so much mental energy into it. So something that I say all the time that you guys have heard me say is I didn't have the bandwidth, or I don't have the bandwidth. And that is my way of saying, like, did I have the time? Yes. Did I have the mental capacity with everything else that's going around, all of the different hamsters running on the different wheels in different directions? Did I have the capacity to do XYZ? The answer is sometimes no. Oh, you were saying goodnight. Okay, Emma. Sorry about that. Well, I hope that you have a great rest of your night. Sleep tight. You got the dark blush teal Halloween shirt. Bluish teal, not blush. There's an I in there. The dark bluish teal. That is a really pretty color. Really, really pretty. That actually would be a good color on me because I have blue eyes and red hair. So normally dark blues and greens look good on me. Light colors like this don't. They just make me look pink. I am just straight bubblegum pink right now. I pretty much match my microphone. But that's okay. I thought that the sand color looked cute with the design. It really made the little golden retriever pop. But the teal is pretty. Are you guys talking about the UK? Lovely area. Well, let's face it. You are super lucky to be living in Scotland, Amanda. Would you guys be interested in doing a UK meetup next year when I finally come out there? Me, Ryan, and the baby? We can make that happen. We can meet somewhere and say howdy. Well, you're Scottish. You probably don't say howdy. I can say howdy. And you can just say hi. What am I making? I am making a baby blanket to donate with all of the little hats that we are making in addition to hospitals for babies who have passed on, so that their little bodies can be wrapped in a warmth and comfort. And then after they are buried or cremated, their parents will have something to remind them of their baby. That's what this whole project is about. Okay, Amanda's down for a meeting. Where are you, Amanda? In Scotland. How many of you guys have been out of your home country? Hands up in the comments. She shed. What do we got? It is, it's a Halloween trick-or-treat sticker and a Cries Easily Cake sticker. Thank you, Tanya. Going to Illinois, my neighbors to the west. Had to think about it for a second. Okay, all right. Oh my days, if you arranged a meetup in Scotland, I would drive my other half onto a plane with me and fly from the other side of the country to meet you. Mandalore, driving from the other side of the country takes like half a day. It's always so funny to me. So I'm not on TikTok very much. It kind of got toxic for me to be on there because it's addicting. So I deleted the app. So I have not been on for a while. But when I used to be on there, part of my TikTok accoutrement that I would be pushed was non-Americans complaining about the way that Americans think and state pride and things like that. I'm from California, I'm from New York, and foreigners thinking that that's stupid that we take pride in that. And then all of the comments would obviously be from Americans, but they would always say do you realize how big the United States is compared to your country? Because for as long as it would take me to drive from the tippy top north coast of Scotland down to the south coast of Scotland, heck, the entire length of the UK, that would take me less time than it would to drive the entire length of California alone. So it's when we have pride for our states or for our colleges or for our cities, it's because they are gigantic. And it's crazy too, how much culture changes depending on where from the United States you are, what kind of foods are common. Oh my gosh, growing up on the West Coast, when Ryan and I moved here, we were given what is it called? What is it called? It's a type of pie. It's a Midwest pie. It's not cream pie. It's literally just whipped milk. That's all it is. And Ryan and I, one of our neighbors gave it to us when we moved in. And we're that's so sweet. But then we tasted it and it tasted like nothing. And we're What is, or chicken and noodles. That was another thing that was like culture shock to us when we moved here. And when I say chicken and noodles, it is legitimately chicken and noodles. No seasoning, no broth, at least the kind that we were given, that is. 45 minutes, that's London to Edinburgh. It's an hour and a half. Mandalora, do you have a car? Laura, do you have a car? I know it's common for UK people to not have cars because you guys have a really awesome public transit. Good night, Emma. Thank you again. You're 2 hours from Edinburgh? Okay. Amanda, are you closer to like Glasgow? Because that is one place that I've never been. I've never seen the Falkirk wheel. Never seen the what are they called? The giant horsies. What are they called? Oh, Ryan's texting me. Hang on, let's see what Rai wants. Whipped milk. That's them farm folk foods. Yeah, it is. Oh, hang on. Ryan's being so naughty on his phone at work. Let me turn my clickies off. I know that. Oh, the Kelpies. Thank you, Emma. The Kelpies. I knew it started with a K, but I didn't want to say something stupid. They're called the Kelpies. They're cool. Look them up. Go to Google. Look up the Kelpies. They're in Falkirk, right? Scotland. And it's just like these two giant horse head statues. And they are so stunningly gorgeous. You do have a car, but it's easier to fly. Is it cheaper to fly? Oh, Ryan's online. He says, hi, everyone. Just checking in. Hope y'all are having a great day. Thank you, Rai. Okay. I responded. I did my wifely duties. Leave me a message in the chat. Name one place where... What was that, you two? I just heard something behind me. Name one place. If money was no option, if time was no option, if you could just teleport there right now, where in the world would you go? Where would you go hang out? For me, you know I'm going to say Scotland, but where specifically? Specifically, the Starbucks on the Royal Mile on a rainy, gloomy Scotland day. That's where I would go. Because Starbucks is a vibe. Tammy's saying Scotland. Kenya, that would be really cool to visit. Ireland is beautiful too, Misty. Ireland's really cool. Oh my gosh, you guys, I was in a pattern test. So I did a pattern test for Espion, the splooting Espion from Snuggle Beans Crochet. That tester group was gigantic. Carrie knows. Carrie was in it. My phone was like going off like every 10 minutes. I was trying to scroll back up to the top of the chat to look at a message that Shannon had sent at the very beginning, and I was no joke scrolling for 30 minutes to the top, and I just gave up because there were that many messages. But somebody posted their pattern test pictures, and their little Espion is just sitting on the edge overlooking the cliffs of Moher in Ireland, and I was like, what a flex. That's crazy. Oh my gosh. Ireland, yes. Norway. I've been to Norway. Hello from New Zealand. You think you go somewhere in Europe? Well, the good thing about Europe is that it's all pretty close. So that's what's nice about like a European vacation or a UK vacation. It's you can get a lot accomplished within a short amount of time. Like you go for 2 weeks, you can hit the major spots, you know? You're 65% Irish and you'd love to go one day. Does the ghost have a name? You know what? We're not even confident that we have a ghost. It's kind of just more of a joke more than anything, because Ryan nor I have ever actually seen anything with our own two eyes or heard anything. The only thing that I saw was when we were touring the house. I shared this in this week's Makes. When we were touring the house, I saw a pair of glowing eyes in the attic upstairs. Oh, we got another order. Oh my goodness, it's for a sky blue colored trick-or-treat shirt from Melissa Russell. Thank you, Melissa. Oh my gosh, you live in Apple Valley? We used to go there all the time to pick out our Christmas tree, because I lived not too far away from there growing up. I lived in Roseville, California, which is like an hour northeast of Sacramento. So I'm a NorCal girly. Oh, also, in regards to the ghost, there have been a couple of times where I have been watching footage back after filming, and I see orbs floating around me, and I can never be sure if they're actually orbs or if they are just fluff particles. Sometimes I can debunk it, like that's definitely a fluff particle, but sometimes it's kind of weird how this unidentified object will like come toward me, hover for a second, and then like go the other way, and then like shoot down. Like it does weird things, and I'm like, that's not how a piece of fluff acts. A piece of fluff has more of like a feathery effect to it, you know? Yarn Angel, Roseville, it's not far from you. Where do you live? And while you're at it, give me your social security number too. Misty, you're teaching yourself to knit, and I feel frustrated as your mom was when you were trying to teach her how to crochet. Yeah, knitting and crochet, really the only skill that transferred for me, because I was a knitter before I was a crocheter, the only skill that transferred was how to hold the working yarn. Everything else, new game. Hands up in the comments if you guys have seen that video of me teaching my mom how to crochet. That was the first introduction to Mama Homebody. And the comments on it were great. Oh, Apple Valley is Southern California? Okay, Melissa, I'm thinking of somewhere else then. What's the word I'm looking for? Where am I thinking? Was it not Apple Valley? Hang on. Now I gotta look it up because it's gonna bother me. I just heard the tick. Did you guys hear it? To get Christmas trees, Northern Cali. Is it Apple Valley? Maybe there's two Apple Valleys. Apple Hill. Wait, did you say Apple Hill or Apple Valley? Oh, Amy got it. Okay, there's two apples. That's what I was thinking of. Okay. Thank you for bearing with me as I tried to figure that out, because that would have bothered me all night long. That was you buying the Nessie pattern? Thank you, Emma. I'm making that bad girl and taking her to the lock. Oh my gosh, Emma, please send me a picture. Please. Oh, you guys, next year, early next year in spring, Ryan and I are going on a cruise with the baby and my dad and stepmom for my dad's 60th birthday. Well, 61st birthday. Anyways, it's for my dad's birthday. And I was thinking, like, we got to get some content on the ship. And I was like, what could I film content-wise for YouTube while on the cruise? Because I could just do like a vlog. I know a lot of you guys would be down for me just vlogging the cruise life, especially for me, since if you did not know, I grew up on a cruise ship, so I'm very familiar with the ins and outs of how they're actually like run, not just from a passenger standpoint, but from like an actual like entertainer living below deck, all of that stuff. So I know that you guys would be down for that, but we definitely need something crochet wise. And I thought that it would be a cute idea if we saw amongst the course of the cruise, which is short, I think it's only like 4 or 5 days, how many items I could crochet, and then I'll bring little tags and put like the name of the cruise line and the date and like the locations, and tie the little tags around the plushies' necks, and then leave them in various places around the ship for people to find, and then we like scope it out and see like who finds it. But then I was like, but that would involve me recording people without their knowledge, which I feel a little weird about. But yeah, we could just do it. We could just do the entire concept without me filming their reaction. But I feel like that's part of the fun, is to see like who actually finds this little crochet rubber duck or whatever as like a little free souvenir for them. Melissa, you're going on a cruise to the Bahamas next month. Fun. I heard another tick. Okay, if it... Hang on, did my... Oh, I turned off my volume. I'm like, why is it not doing a little ding-a-ling? The ding-a-ling is the most satisfying part, right? Brenna got a Snitches Get Stitches sticker and a pastel kawaii Halloween character shirt in black. Classy. You're classy, Brenna. Okay, let me make sure I didn't miss any. No, okay, we're good. I was all caught up on orders, you guys, before tonight, but it is a great problem to have when I have a full docket of orders to pack. I am so grateful for it. I did that with my nephew on the Loch Ness cruise last year, made a few small ones and left them en route in the tour bus. Oh my gosh, that's so cute, Emma. That'd be a fun idea. Okay, you guys are down. Okay, Britt also says that that would be a fun idea. Okay, we'll do it. What are you guys working on right now, by the way? Are you guys crocheting? Melissa says that she's packing crochet. I always make a small plushie for the airline attendants. That is adorable. That is so thoughtful of you. Yeah, I would need to find some little patterns that would be like quick. Oh my gosh. I'm going to get such aesthetic footage of sitting on like the deck, like overlooking the ocean crocheting. That's going to be such a vibe. But I definitely need little quick patterns that don't take a ton of stuffing, because I will be only able to bring one suitcase with all my clothes and everything, plus all my yarn. So I would need to pre-plan what I'm making, what yarn I would need to bring, only a couple of skeins, and then maybe I could get away with one of like the small bags of polyfill. So it would need to be an object that does not take a ton of stuffing, or even better, no stuffing at all. Let me know if you guys have any suggestions for small, quick, no stuffing crochet plushies. Well, I guess, would it still be considered a plushie? I don't know. You're making a little octopus? You're crocheting Brussels sprouts. That's new, Emma. I could vacuum seal the stuffing. Yes, I could, Donna. You're working on a pumpkin loaf cat and snap bracelet snakes. A lot of people have recommended that I make, oh wait, snap bracelet snakes. You're saying for no stuffing, or that's what you're working on? Because I was going to say, a lot of people have actually recommended that I make snap bracelet snakes. I don't know. I would have to source the actual snap bracelets and anything like that. Like, I feel like this about the gummy worms too, because they involve the foam rollers, which like I have to go out of my way to get. And then if they don't sell, I'm just out that additional money that I spend on the material to make it, you know. Plus, for the cruise, I would want it to be something that would make both an adult and a child smile if they came across it, you know? Only the head is stuff. Okay, Amy, you know what? For this case, I do think that that is a really good suggestion because I would not have to bring too much stuffing. Stars and moons, stick with the theme. That's not a bad idea. I could maybe make like a little poem about a shooting star that you found on the cruise or something. I don't know. To be honest with you guys, I don't even know where we're going. My stepmom booked it. So I think we're going to the Caribbean. Do small snugglers. You only have to stuff a little bit. And the head. Yeah, I could just do flaccid bodies. Or give them granny squares. Yeah. I feel like adults would be a lot more into getting a granny square than kids because adults could at least use it as like a coaster or something, you know? You got some snap bands from Temu, very cheap, and they sold at the school fair. Oh, okay. Good to know. I could do the gummy worms, yes. The gummy worms I have to use the foam rollers for, though, and those will not be able to be vacuum sealed. So at that point, I might as well just use the room in my suitcase for stuffing that I can vacuum seal, you know? Worry worms. Little plushy loveys with the granny square. Just stuff the heads. Yeah. Celestial coasters. Here's the main thing about doing granny squares, though. Is think about who you're asking to make granny squares. Do we need to remind you about the hat that I was making a few lives ago? And the edges? I am better off sticking to plushies. Oh, you know, it would be fun too because so when I was in middle school and high school, I used to love drawing caricatures for people. You guys know what a caricature is, right? Like it's like a it is like a cartoon of somebody with exaggerated features. So it still looks like them, but the caricatures normally have like big heads, and like if the person has larger teeth, then you draw like really big teeth, and they're normally doing like a sport that they like or something. So I used to be so into drawing caricatures for my friends in school. So maybe that could be something that I do too, is just bring around my sketchbook and just be like, hey, you want a caricature? And just draw it for them. I could leave stickers around. True. Those don't take up any room in the suitcase. Oh my goodness, 7 items. Beth, what did Beth get? Beth got a bunch of stickers, 2 patterns, and a matching shirt in the charcoal color. Thank you so much, Beth. That's so kind of you. I will pack all of your guys' sticker orders probably tomorrow. Oh my gosh, it's going to be so nice, you guys. Ryan is off work for the next 2 weeks because he finally gets paternity leave. It is a long story why he did not get it when Celeste was actually a newborn. But just a few weeks before her first birthday, he finally gets paid time off. So he's going to be off work for 2 whole weeks. So that is going to be great. Not only because I'm having surgery, so he'll be like home to help me take care of her and whatever, but also because I just get to spend 2 weeks with him. And I think next week I'm probably going to just sit down for a couple of days straight and just crank out videos. At least have them in my docket to be edited. So that way, when I'm recovering from surgery the next couple of weeks, I do not have to sit down and film. I'll just be able to upload a previously recorded video, which means we might take a pause on this week's makes for just a week or two. Well, not next Monday, but the Monday after, instead of this week's makes, it's going to be the fall festival video. That whole market vlog, which I know is like most of your guys' favorite content on the channel, is market vlogs. Donna, it has nothing to do with the American healthcare system. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with his work because he was working through a temp agency for Honda. It is a long story. Like I said, there's a lot of technicalities, but it has nothing to do with the American healthcare system. It has to do with the switch over between the temp agency going to Honda proper full time. But yeah, there's just a lot of like behind the scenes moving parts and everything. But it's either here nor there at this point. He finally gets to take his 2 weeks off. We were thinking about going on just a little staycation, I guess you could call it, or just going a few hours away, maybe to Niagara Falls or something like that. But now, me getting my surgery date, we're not going to be able to do that while he's off work. So that's okay. He gets to take it and it's paid. So both good things. Nerdy Peach says, "Hey, I see you have big teeth. May I draw you?" Oh my gosh. Could you imagine? I would say that though. Y'all know I have a very small filter. Leave me, okay, say in the chat, if I were to see you in person and draw a caricature of you, what would it look like? If somebody were to draw my caricature, it'd have like super messy hair, probably a really big butt, and be holding a crochet hook and a paintbrush with yarn all around it. That's what mine would look like. Oh, and also have a very pointy nose. My sister always says that my nose is really pointy. What would your caricature look like? Niagara Falls is an hour away from me. When my 3 children were born, my husband only took the day off when they were born. Yeah, Beth, that's what happened with Ryan. He only could take his PTO days. He couldn't take like official paternity leave. I'd be surrounded by kids as I work in an elementary school. All right. That's fair enough. Messy curls, big glasses, like glasses that like go out to here and take up your entire face. Big curly hair and big cheeks and a crochet hook while drowning in yarn. I feel like most of us would be drowning in yarn. Wearing a tam o'shanter, drinking iron brew. In a kilt, Emma? In a kilt with a Highland cow standing behind you? With mountains in the background? Oh my gosh. Oh, speaking of iron brew, if you don't know what that is, it is a Scottish soda. It tastes a lot like RC. If you've ever had RC cola, it tastes a lot like that. Very similar taste profile. But the Scots love their iron brew. And Ryan and I bought a bottle of it when we were on our honeymoon like 5 years ago. And it came all the way across the country with us when we moved in. It's still sitting in our refrigerator. I don't have the heart to drink it. It's just sitting in there, and it's nice orange bottle aging like a fine wine. Maybe on our 20th wedding anniversary, I'll finally pop it open and drink it. Hamster cheeks? You'd have hamster cheeks? Yeah, you gotta go the whole shebang. Stick Nessie in the lock. Oh yeah, eating haggis. Absolutely. Do you like haggis, Emma? Do all Scottish people like haggis? We had deep fried haggis balls when we were there, and it was pretty good. For me, okay, the taste is phenomenal. The texture is where it was weird, but it could have been because the kind that I had was deep fried, so it was like minced and then breaded in a ball and then deep fried, so maybe that could have changed the texture of it, but I am a very textural eater. If it does not sit well on the palate texture-wise, then I am not gonna like it, even if the flavor is really good. They just released 2 special edition flavors, Unicorn Tears and Nessie Nectar. Is that like supposed to be Nessie's blood? Wait, can I say that word on YouTube? I don't know. You can't say it on TikTok. That's funny, Emma. What do they taste like? Do they actually taste different? Iron Brew has kind of a bubblegum flavor. Do you get that too, Emma? You probably grew up drinking it, but like to me, the first time I had it, I'm like, why does this taste like bubblegum? This is going to sound odd, but I prefer the vegetarian version of haggis. I will eat the meaty one though, so long as it's fine chopped. Don't need to be finding big bits of kidney. Yeah. If you don't know what haggis is, you can look it up. I'm not going to explain what it is because I don't want to be demonetized. I don't know how YouTube's going to feel about me talking about what haggis is. Dara would have curly hair, glasses, dark circles under the eyes. Hey, I used to teach kindergarten too. I feel ya. Oh my gosh. How's school going? How's school going, Dara? You have a bunch of heathens. You have 30 little heathens running around you. Iron Brew like nothing else and must be from a glass bottle. All right, that's how you do it. If you ever get some Iron Brew. The first time I had it, actually, we were at the Highland Games at Glamps Castle. And I don't know what city that is in. Let me know if you know, any of my Scottish friends. Is my tension really tight? Why does down here feel so much softer and then up here feels like super stiff? I might have really tight tension. Okay, I gotta be mindful about that. But anyways, the first time I had Iron Brew was at Glamps Castle, and it was a Highland Games. So everybody was in kilts. There was Highland dancing and fiddle music and caber tosses, and it was a whole vibe, literally with a castle right there in the background. And we had Iron Brew for the first time, and I was like, why does this taste like bubblegum? School is chaotic like herding cats. You know what? I feel like wet cats would probably be less chaotic than kindergartners. And unless you've taught it, you don't understand. North of Dundee. Okay, yes. I was going to say my brain just stuttered. I was going to say, I know that it's across the bridge of the Firth of Forth, but I wasn't sure actually like what city it was in. Good night, Gothic Crocheter. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. It's in Dundee. Okay. Have I been to Thay Castle? Is that how you say it? Thay Castles in Ohio? I haven't. Where is that out of the barn, Crochet? Where is that? Also, how's your little baby doing? Donna, I stepped away and came back to wet cats. What happened? We were saying that teaching kindergarten is more chaotic than dealing with a herd of wet cats. That's what the wet cats was about. Oh, the castles in Ohio. I have not. You just had homecoming week and it's so hot here. Stacy, where are you? Where is it hot? Because here in the Midwest, it has been superb weather. Amy, you did make it. Welcome. You're fashionably late. That's how I normally am too. Oh, I dropped a couple stitches a few rows ago. I was too busy yapping. Can you see that? I don't know if you can. Right there. I dropped a stitch. There's a slightly bigger hole. Oopsie. South Dakota? Is it really hot in like central US? It was a little hot today. It was like 80s today, but it has been so nice. Pike Castles in West Liberty, Ohio. I'm going to look it up. Hyatt Castle, Ohio. Oh, that's pretty cool, actually. You guys want to see a picture of it? I mean, it's tiny. That's what it is. It's in Ohio. This picture was taken 11 years ago. Where is this in Ohio? Let's get directions. Let's go there right now. Oh, it's only 2 hours away. North of Springfield. Let's go, everybody. Jump in the car. Jump in the magic school bus. We're going on an adventure. Hi, Delan. I grew up near there. There's also awesome Ohio caverns near there. Great place to visit. Also, my baby is doing great. Good. Gotta go feed him, though. It's like, okay, that's fine. You can listen to us. You can just eavesdrop, okay? Did anybody else get shook when they learned that it wasn't eavesdropping? It's actually eavesdropping with a V. I was like 22 when I found that out. I also grew up my entire life thinking that the saying is it's a dog-e-dog world. Like a doggy-dog, doggy-dog. But it's not. It's a dog-eat-dog world out there. Oh my gosh. It's going to be miserable here in Minnesota for the next few days. 90 degrees. I don't like the sound of that. Yeah, in California, during the summer, sometimes my friends and I would put cookie dough on a baking sheet, and then we would just go set it out on the asphalt in the middle of the street, and then just come back in a few hours to baked cookies. They were a little doughy, but it was a lot of fun, because you could actually bake cookies outside in 111. There was one summer, it got up to like 119. That's hot. I can't even explain how hot that is. Oh, speaking of weather, I hear thunder. Let me take a little peek-see outside. Never mind, that's not thunder. That's just somebody moving their trash cans. You're from Florida. That sounds great to me. How hot has it been in Florida? Y'all just got to move to the Midwest, where we have all 4 seasons. I feel like in Florida, it's either hot or hurricane. Those are the only 2 seasons. Nerdy Peach, didn't you say that? It's been in the 90s all week. Your parents dried peaches in their car in a sheet tray. You can definitely do that. It's so funny because, like, here, everybody complains about the humidity. And yes, it's not as humid in Indiana as it is like in Florida. It is a lot. It's very humid here, though, especially growing up in California where it is just so dry. Like, whenever I go back to visit family in California, like, the second I step off the plane, instant nosebleed because it's so dry. And it's just hot, right? Everybody here complains about the humidity, but honestly, having lived in both places, I would take a humid 90-degree day over a dry heat 120-degree day anytime. Because the thing about dry heat is that it takes your breath away. Like, yes, humidity, you can cut it with a knife. You can see the humidity sometimes. But you step outside when it's that just dry, hot, it like takes your breath away because it's dry. It dries up your sinuses and everything. And the good thing about humidity, though, is that it makes it feel cooler than it actually is, especially in interiors. Like, I remember some days, after high school, I was driving in my senior year of high school. So I would come out to my car after school and I would literally have to let it sit there for an hour and a half with the AC running because the seat was so hot that I could not even sit down if I was wearing like shorts or a dress, or I would have to bring like a towel. Like, I started bringing a towel or sheets or something to put over the leather because it was just so hot. Here, when it's humid, the inside of your car does not get that hot. I just want a huge rant about humidity. Okay, Nerdy Peach does say accurate, Nia, very true. Amy says, we're in the 60-degree temperature swings in the mountains of Colorado. The colors are starting to pop. Yes, Amy, the other day I was walking up my porch and one of our bushes right outside our back door has some red on it. And I say, I'm like Mariah Carey at the beginning of, what's that Christmas song? It's time. That was me when I saw those red leaves. Also in Florida, I feel like we are so weak to cold weather. Yes. Oh my gosh. That was how I felt too. Like moving here, I love the cold, but it's like when it's negative 30 degrees, like, and you do not grow up around that, I was like, oh wow, like this is cold. I would much rather take the cold over the hot though. Much rather, because here's the thing about cold weather is you can always bundle up and put more clothes on, but when it's hot, there's only so many clothes that you can take off before you get arrested. You know? All I want for Christmas is you. Thank you. I miss the Reds so much. Oh my gosh. It is on my bucket list to go and visit, like East Coast, like Connecticut would be so pretty during autumn to see the colors change. And honestly, Ryan's break lined up perfectly where that could have been a place that we went, like on our way to Niagara Falls, stopping and like seeing the changing colors. But I got my surgery date and I don't want to mess with that. So another time. We'll go maybe when Celesta's a little bit older too, so she can enjoy. Also a place that I've wanted to go is Colonial Williamsburg. That says a lot about the nerd in me that I want to take a family vacation, not to Disney World, not to Greece, but to Colonial Williamsburg. Ryan supports it though. He knew this about me when he married me. I love United States history. I taught it for many years, if you did not know. So, American Revolution stuff and like just American history. History in general is cool. I also love like United Kingdom history. I could tell you all about the Caledonian War and all of that stuff. Like, I don't know. I'm kind of a nerd when it comes to history stuff. So yeah, I really want to go visit like Plymouth Rock and Colonial Williamsburg, Bunker Hill. That place is super cool. Went there as a kid. Thank you, Mystic Mama. Thank you. They actually like dress up in period clothing and stuff, and that's so cool. Donna, you've been to Colonial Williamsburg? I squished brick clay with your feet? That's cool. I want to do that. Salem would be cool to visit too. And if Ryan was here, I would make him say the name of the state that Salem is in. Not Salem, Oregon. On the East Coast one. You guys know what state I'm talking about that Ryan can't say to save his life? Literally, he could be held in a well in a serial killer's basement and be asked to say Massachusetts correctly, and that man could not do it. He says Massachusetts. Stonehenge. You know what? I have never been to Stonehenge. I have been to the United Kingdom dozens of times. Never have I visited Stonehenge. But I would love to go. I do have Stonehenge in the game Animal Crossing on my island. I have a whole little Animal Crossing Outlander inspired area. And Stonehenge is there with a little mannequin that's dressed as Jamie and a little mannequin that's dressed as Claire. He can Anne Frank like a pro. I shouldn't be laughing. Oh my gosh. He's too funny. He's such a cutie pie. Maybe one day we will go to Europe together, and we can go visit actual Anne Frank memorials, and maybe that'll slap some sense into him that colorful rainbow leopards and dolphins, not Anne Frank. You have the Outlander rocks in your Animal Crossing too, Donna? I love it. Great minds think alike, huh? Mystic Mama, Washington, D.C. is amazing too. Yeah, I actually went there when I was in 8th grade, and I did not appreciate it at the time that I was there because I was like 12 years old. I was just like having fun with my friends. But Washington, D.C. is another place that I would like to go back and visit. The Library of Congress, but it was closed. Oh no. While wearing Lisa Frank gear, yeah. No, it's so bad. You're in Connecticut. I'd stalked you in a friendly way. I'll make a deal with you. If I ever go anywhere, I'll give you a heads up, okay? I'll say, look, at this place, at this time, I will be there. Come see me if you want to see me and take sneaky photos of me. Because that is how I know that I've made it on the internet, is when paparazzi photos of me leak. So I'm going to leave it up to you guys to be my paparazzi, okay? Okay, I'm getting a lot of hype for Colonial Williamsburg. Okay, I don't feel so bad now. Alaska, yes, Alaska is another place on my bucket list. I would love to do a cruise in Alaska and go see like the whales and everything. I still think you need to write a kids book featuring you and Ryan in sticker form. Yes. I have a lot of kids book ideas, lots of children's book ideas, but unfortunately, I don't really have the time for that right now. But maybe when things slow down, maybe when Celeste is a little bit older and doesn't require as much attention and hands-on stuff, maybe I'll find the time to write another book. You were born in Massachusetts? Or as Ryan would say, massive two shits? That wasn't a bad word, YouTube. I was just saying the mispronunciation that Ryan says. There's a cruise that goes from Seattle to Alaska. Yeah, I've been exploring historical sites in Ohio. So much Native American history here. It's fascinating. Love history. So much we can learn. I agree, Amy. You're in Ontario, Canada, small town like you, Katie. I know you are, Jan. Jan, I could tell you your exact address right now because of how much you ordered from me. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. Sometimes I snoop. If you order from me a lot, I will look up your address. Not in a creepy way, just out of curiosity. Like, where do these people live? Oh, girl, think of your she shed. I know. Oh my gosh. Hershey Park, Pennsylvania. We're pretty close. We're pretty close to good old PA. I'd love to go and visit Scranton one day. My sister went and visited Scranton, Pennsylvania, you know, where The Office is set. It wasn't filmed there. Exterior shots were filmed there for, like, the intro and everything. But it was filmed in, I believe, Burbank, California. But my sister went and visited actual Scranton, Pennsylvania, and she said that it was so ghetto. She was like, their cars were, like, broken into, like, just right there. Like, we watched somebody get mugged. Like, it was bad, she said. And I was like, that's a bummer, because they have a really cool giant mural of all of the Office characters. So you've looked at my address? Maybe. If you ever have an unexpected guest show up, you know, I have my ways of knowing where you live. Did she go to Chili's? I wonder what Chili's that was filmed at, Nerdy Peach. I don't know. Chili's baby back ribs. I want my baby back, baby back, baby back. I want my baby back, baby. They have not played that commercial in forever. Like, I have not seen the Chili's baby back ribs commercial since I was a kid. A New England Canada cruise is on your list. That would be fun, Amy. I would, of course, love to do a United Kingdom and Ireland cruise. Of course. You could catch me any day. If I had the resources and the time, you'd catch me any day just hanging out in the United Kingdom. Refining my accent. Because at this moment in time, it's lacking. I like to talk like I'm British, but I feel that I mix dialects from all over the country. Because really my only frame of reference is the few times that I've visited, as well as TV and movies. And most of the time, it's not actual British actors. Like Claire, for example, in Outlander. She's Irish. She's not actually English. Just don't zoom in on my house because you see where my husband's car collection junkyard on our property. Well, now I'm gonna zoom in extra hard, Melissa. Your parents did a cruise in Alaska. I have some amazing photos. Yeah, my stepmom did an Alaskan cruise, and she said that it was one of the best she's ever been on, and she's been on a lot of cruises. Good luck refining the British accents. Emma, you want me to do my best Scottish accent? The only Scottish accent that I can do is if I'm mimicking an exact line of somebody Scottish. And for whatever reason, I can say the Oreo slogan in a Scottish accent. You know, Milk's favorite cookie. For whatever reason, I could say that in a Scottish accent. Actually, I know why. It's not for whatever reason. I know why. Because one of my best friends in college, his name's Arnold. Arnold and I lived next door to each other, and he did a semester abroad in Edinburgh. And he came back, and I was like, "Can you teach me how to speak in a Scottish accent?" And there were Oreos sitting right there, and so he taught me how to say that in the best Scottish accent. Where I live, we are said to be the best English-speaking Scots in Scotland. Yeah. I feel like, Emma, the farther north that you go, the more you need subtitles. I can only say disgusting with a Scottish accent. Disgusting. I don't want to. I'm going to sound stupid. I'm going to sound stupid. Emma, disgusting. Oh my gosh. Hey, Emma, say burglar alarm. Have you guys seen the videos of Scottish people saying burglar alarm? Burglar. It's normally what it sounds like. Did you do it, Emma? Emma, send me a video on Instagram of you saying burglar alarm. I bought your Nessie Lassie pattern, and I plan on making a lassie with the main body and using burnout baby sparkle in limeade. That would be pretty in the sparkle. What color would you suggest I make the accents? With limeade? Do you want it to be bold? My mom's texting me. Do you want it to be bold, or do you want it to be more subdued? Are you selling it, or are you giving it to somebody? I need more info, and I can help you pick a color. My mom said, "Can you send the dogs down to eat the chicken off the floor?" Hey, Roombas, get off your chargers. You're needed in the kitchen. Let me let them out. Come here. Come here, Paisley. Go get your dinner. You can't actually say that one, Emma? Okay, send me a voice note, Emma. Do it. We'll all listen to you. To your Scottish accent. I can say, like, Merida, like her lines. I am Merida, firstborn of the Clandonbrook, and I'll be shooting for my own hand. That's about it. Okay, why is it puckering like that? Is that tension? I don't know if you can see what I'm seeing. Okay, you want bold. You're giving it to your 6-year-old great nephew for Christmas. Okay. I think that like royal blue would look really cool with that limeade color. Emma, tell me when you've sent it and I'll go on Instagram and check. Thank you, Nerdy Peach. I'm not going to accept a compliment though unless it's from a Scottish person. Because to me, it sounds like how Scottish accents sound. But unless you're actually from Scotland, then you know, to us it's all Hollywoodized. You know what I mean, Nerdy Peach? Like, my frame of reference is like Scotty from Star Trek. You like that, Misty? Okay. Good. I'm glad. Emma says it's sent. Story unavailable. Ah, here. Okay. Everybody, this is Emma.
Burglar alarm.
You did do it!
Burglar alarm.
Who's in... Emma, who's in the background trying to sound it out? One more time. Oh.
Burglar alarm.
You can say it. Okay, whoever's in the background trying to sound it out phonetically, I love them. That is so cute. Oh my gosh. I'm shy. I literally just said burglar alarm. And you did it, Emma. Gold star. Okay, my tension is tighter. I'll have to block it. I'm too busy yapping, you guys. Yeah, you can see how it kind of goes in here. Oh, it's me in the background? What a plot twist! It's me in the background, sounding it out phonetically. Oh my gosh, the plot twist of the century. And I'm sitting here going, whoever that is, I love them. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay, what's something that I couldn't say? Or anybody else who is not American, what's something that Americans cannot pronounce correctly, and I will try to pronounce it. Hi, Daniel. Oh my gosh. Y'all are too funny. Oh. What's that guy's name on TikTok? You guys might know who I'm talking about. He's a Scottish guy, really cute, piercing blue eyes, and super thick Scottish accent, and he reads children's books in his accent. I gotta look up who it is, Because if you have not seen any of his videos, they are phenomenal. Wonky. I know there's one where he read the Wonky Donkey book.
The Wonky Donkey.
This guy.
I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. That was a terrible donkey. And he only had 3 legs. He was a wonky donkey. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey.
Oh my gosh. When I was on TikTok, I followed him. And yeah, he always made me laugh. Way to go, Emma. Now say it while eating a deep fried Mars bar, Amanda says. Can I say rural? Yes, I can say rural, although I know some people who cannot say rural. Daniel, I am doing just cheeky. Thank you for asking. Although apparently I'm very tight tensioned at the moment, so I gotta loosen up a little bit. Can you say rural, Nerdy Peach? Oh, here's one. Here's one. Americans, can you say Worcestershire sauce? Because I can barely say it. Specifically, easy. Specifically. Accessory. Oh my gosh. It grinds my gears when people say accessory. It's accessory. ACC, accessory. Worcestershire, you can say it. Have you ever watched the Hoof GP videos about trimming cow hooves? And the accent is chef's kiss? No, I'm going to have to look that up though. Well, Yarn Angel, it depends on which dialect you want me to say that word in. Do you want me to say it in American English or British English? Because if I were to say it in American English, I would say aluminum. If I was English, I would say aluminium. That's the W sauce at my house, Jennifer says. A lot of people can't say Worcestershire sauce. What kind of yarn is this? This is Hobby Lobby. I love this yarn. It's really pretty. The color is called Parcel and Bow. My childhood best friend could never say permanent. She always said it like permanent. As a U.S. Southerner, I thought I had an uncle, Dole. For 20 years, his name is Doyle. Why did I just picture Reba McEntire saying Dole? Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry about Jovi. This is what I get for letting them out. You have a hard time with that word? What, Worcestershire or Doyle, Yarn Angel? Oh my gosh, you guys want to know a huge pet peeve of mine? Okay, this is no shade to anybody who says this. Actually, this is a little shade to people who say this. And this, I found, is a Midwest thing. Could be more parts of the country, but I did not hear it until we moved here. People will use the word seen instead of saw. They say, I seen that at the Walmart. I seen that. And it grinds my gears because that is not proper English. It's either I've seen, I have seen, or I saw. How many of you guys, be honest, how many of you guys say I seen that? Oh, aluminium and the W word. People make fun of me here because I always say herb like I'm British. Because in American English, we say herb, usually, but I say herb like I'm British. And one time I was at a restaurant ordering garlic herb chicken, and they're like, what are you, British? I was like, I guess, sure. I'll take that as a compliment. Also, that reminds me of The Office. I'd seen it, yes. Swim, swam, swum. OMG, that drives me nuts when people say seen like that. Thank you. I'm not the only one. Oh my gosh. What is your favorite parfait yarn for plushies? In terms of like, do I prefer parfait chunky or parfait plush, Tracy? Because I prefer the parfait plush out of those two. But out of all of the premier yarns that are plushy, I prefer the chenille, basic chenille brights the best. You don't say it, but it drives you insane. I feel like it's very common in the Midwest. And I actually saw a video of a linguistic professor breaking down why in some parts of the country people say, I seen it. And it is still incorrect, but there is a reason, and it has to do with like the way that the native language of the settlers spoke. So I think he said like if you live in an area that came from German settlers, maybe how it like translates directly from German to English, like it makes sense why you wouldn't say I saw it. I think, I don't know, it was like a year ago that I saw that video, but I was like, oh, that's interesting. I still don't like it, but it kind of makes sense. Tried Demi from Michaels. Out of the Barn Crochet, I have not seen it at my Michaels. I know everybody's getting it and I want in on the action, but nobody is carrying it in my area. I've checked both Cincinnati and Indianapolis. But that being said, I remember when Fluffy Flex came out, it was a good like 4 months after it released. I feel like everybody else had it. 4 months later, our store finally got it. In the South, we have our own language. I forget some of the words aren't real. Like what, Carrie? Teach us some Southern talk. I'll put on my best Southern accent. I'm trying to think like if there were any words like when I lived in California that we would say. Hella. In California, West Coast, US, hella is big. With the Valley Girl accent, that's like hella cool. H-E double hockey sticks A. Bowl of water. Donna says, oh my gosh. I remember one time when I was teaching 5th grade, I forgot how we got on the topic, but I was teaching the 10-year-olds how to speak in a British accent. We were probably learning about the American Revolution, and whenever I would read to them text from that period of time, if it was somebody British who was talking, I would do my British accent, and they all thought that it was like the coolest thing ever. I remember one kid, this is so cute, oh my gosh, wait, this is such a full circle moment for me, because one kid literally goes, you sound like a British YouTuber. That's what they told me, and now here I am, I'm a YouTuber. But anyways, I was teaching them because they wanted to know how to speak in a British accent. And I said, if it's a double T, just pretend like it doesn't exist. So for example, it's not a bottle of water. Also R's. Just drop the R's. It's a bottle of water. Harry Potter. Apparently I can say burglar alarm, but I can't count to 2 and watch and chat at the same time, Emma. You know what? That's a whole different skill set. That's a different part of your brain that does the 2 things at once. Yeah, hella in Vegas. Yeah. Hello, beautiful people. Mima D, welcome. In Minnesota, we don't eat casserole. We eat hot dish. That's actually really cute. That makes sense. A hot dish, you know, it's a dish that's hot. It's funny too, like the difference between British and American English with just, you know, words. Like, for example, here we call it an elevator. In England, they call it a lift. And both make sense. But it's like the one case scenario where I feel like the American version is a lot more elevated, no pun intended. You know, it's a lot more eloquent because elevator sounds much fancier than just a lift. But everything else, generally British English, like they say it in a nicer way. Like we say parking lot, which makes sense. It's a lot that you park in. They say car park. It's a place where you park your car. Both make sense. It's like, why are we changing it? So burglar alarm turns into bugla alarm in British. How would somebody who's English say burglar alarm? It depends on the dialect. It depends on where in England they are. When I can do a pretty good Cockney accent. Oh my gosh. Jovi. I might have to bring her in here so she doesn't make all of your dogs go nutso. Jovi, come here. Yeah, I can do a pretty good Cockney accent because when I was in musical theater, an audition song that I did was from, oh my gosh, what's that musical? The Rain in Spain stains mainly in the plains. What musical is that? Why can't I think of it right now? But yeah, the song was, all I want is a room somewhere far away from the cold night air, with one enormous chair. Wouldn't it be lovely? So I learned how to do a Cockney accent. Thank you, My Fair Lady. Thank you. It's My Fair Lady. Lots of coal, making lots of it. Warm face, warm hands, warm feet. Oh, wouldn't it be lovely? Yeah. Not Oklahoma. Oklahoma, where the da. I don't even know any of the music from Oklahoma, if I'm being honest. Yeah, it was My Fair Lady. My friend is from Massachusetts and she says rubbish instead of garbage or trash. That makes sense because, yeah, when thinking about like historically wise, the settlers in Massachusetts were English, so that makes sense that some of that British English transferred over. I used to watch that movie on repeat. Oh my gosh, it has been years since I have seen My Fair Lady, but I do remember it being a good movie. I love that scene where she like starts to slip back into her Cockney accent out of her fancy upper class British accent. It's so great. And she's an American actress too. So that was all just like dialect practice. Soda pop, all of its juice in Scotland. Yeah, pop is something that we never said growing up. Like on the West Coast, we never called it pop. Here, pop is big. Except if you're from like northern Midwest, like Minnesota, Michigan, then it's pop. P-A-H-P. Pop. My dad is from Michigan, so I grew up with that, like him saying dow. Pop. Yeah, his whole family had that Michiganian accent. Michiganian accent. Is it Gonian or Ganian? Oklahoma, where the winds... Oh, yeah. Yes. Thank you, Melissa. Where the winds come rushing down the plain. Yeah. I don't know any of the other words or any of the other music. But that does sound familiar. You always say soda? Yeah. I guess in Minnesota they say soda sometimes. Most of it's pop. But if they do say it, they'll say soda. Soda. Pop. Pop. You gotta kind of smile when you say it. Pop. I feel like I don't really have an accent. Like I'm not super... I have a little bit of a vocal fry, like that California Valley girl. But not a lot. I feel like I just kind of sound American. K-pop Demon Hunter's my little soda pop person. Me too. Are you kidding me? You're all I can think of, every drop I drink of. You're my soda pop, my little soda pop. That's such a banger. Love that song. Your dad being from Michigan, do you know about Verner's and Fago? No idea. No idea, Mima. He moved to California when he was 19, so... By the time I came around, when he was in his mid-30s, he had lived in California for about as long as he had lived in Michigan for. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, and we say pop, but I now live in Southern Kentucky, and everything is Coke. Yes, Dawn. Yes, I have family who lives in Kentucky, and they say everything's a Coke. Yes. No matter what kind of soda it actually is. Are you guys a Coke person or a Pepsi person? I will wait to tell you what I am. Wait, I'll create a poll. Hang on, let me finish this stitch. I'm going to create a poll in the chat, and you can tell me, are you Coke or Pepsi? This also includes all of the brands underneath. So, for example, Dr. Pepper is a Coke product, right? Yeah. It also includes diets, Coke Zero, all of that stuff. Okay, starting the poll. Clear soda also becomes Coke? Yeah, Amy, my family anyways, who lives in Kentucky. Snapple, Melissa? Snapple's good. You say soft drink, Sharon? I feel like we might say that too if it's formal. I'm all about the Coke and Dr. Pepper. I love Dr. Pepper. I miss Dr. Pepper, you guys. I miss soda. I miss Dr. Pepper. I miss my spicy Diet Cokes. Coke is winning, really. I don't drink soda, but when I did, I only liked Pepsi. Coke is winning right now. But we'll see what the majority likes. And then I will tell you where my allegiances lie. Technically, my allegiances lie neither place because I don't drink soda anymore. The only soda I drink is, how do you pronounce that, Maria? Guarania? It's a Brazilian soda. Is it like more like a sparkling water, Maria? Or is it like a Coke or a Pepsi with syrup in it? I'm pretty sure there are knockoff Poppy, Olipop, Dr. Pepper. Donna, I have tried them. I actually did a whole review on them at the end of this week's Makes video, like months ago. Hated them. Hated them. I feel like a traitor voting Coke. Where's the Iron Brew option? Emma, it might be just you and Amanda voting Iron Brew. Is Iron Brew its own company, or is it owned by either Coke or Pepsi? Because I would not be surprised if it was actually an umbrella company. Let me look. Does Coke or Pepsi own Iron Brew? Neither. Okay, it is its own. Owned by AG Bar. It's a Scottish company that manufactures in Cumbernauld, Scotland. I almost said Cumberland. Okay. Ooh. I don't really drink soda much, but I do prefer Coke over Pepsi, except for cherry versions. Cherry Pepsi is way better than cherry Coke. It has been a long time since I've had both, Misty, but I think I agree with you. I think I remember cherry Pepsi being better. Okay, it looks like Coke has won by 67%. We're going to end the poll. So, I am a Coke person. I very much so enjoy the spicy Diet Coke. Nothing slaps harder on a hot day than a spicy Diet Coke from McDonald's. Oh, it's near Glasgow, is it? Coke with coffee is pretty good. Amy, Coke with coffee? Never heard that combo before. Interesting. What's the ratio on that? like half Coke, half coffee. Just a splash of coffee in the Coke. Ooh, vanilla ice cream and coffee would be good. It'd be like a root beer float. You're a Dr. Pepper Zero kind of girl. Ryan loves the zeros. He loves Coke Zero, Dr. Pepper Zero. I cannot stand regular Coke and regular Pepsi. I would rather drink dirt. I gotta have me some of that aspartame to really hit the spot. Orange Coke, I don't know that I've ever had orange Coke, but I love cherry Coke. I love vanilla Coke too, Yarn Angel. But regular, plain Coca-Cola, Dr. Pepper and coconut cream, that would be really good. Kind of the vibe of a root beer float, but Dr. Peppery. If you ever go to a Brazilian steakhouse, order, I'm going to butcher it again, Guarania to drink, right? The little apostrophe over the I is a nya sound, right? It's yum. I have no way to compare it to anything. In color, it looks like ginger ale, but it doesn't taste like it. Okay, so it's like clear, pretty much. Maybe a slight tinge. Drinking dirt is wild. I really rather would. Than drink plain old Coca-Cola or plain old Pepsi. But it doesn't matter anymore because I'm not doing either. Maria Katie, I made 3 blankets and hats to go with them. 2 pink and 2 blue. Where do I send them to? Thank you so much, Maria. If you want to, you can do one of 2 things. Either you can send them to me and I will make sure that they get to a hospital who will use them. I will drop them off along with my stuff. Or if you don't want to ship them to me, because, you know, you have to pay for shipping, you can look for a local hospital near you. Just call them and see if they have like a donations coordinator or anything like that. And they will be able to tell you if they take handmade donations. Just tell them that you want to donate them for angel babies, for babies who have passed on. So that they have something to wear for their final photos and stuff. But if you want to send them to me, my P.O. box is in the description box. It's P.O. Box 317, I think. Greensburg, Indiana, 47240. I only like Coke or Pepsi in icy frozen form. I'm trying to think when the last time I had a frozen Coke was. Because I know when we used to get ices as a kid, you know, stop at the gas station, get an icy. I would always get cotton candy, of course. But my mom always really liked the Coke ices. And I remember having some of hers. Oh my gosh, you guys. Remember when Target had a little food court and they had the icy maker, and I remember our local Target had a Pizza Hut in it. Do any of those still exist anymore? They had like the popcorn machine. That is mainly where I remember getting ices from. Of course, Maria. If you have any other questions, feel free to email me or DM me on Instagram. And I will be happy to answer them for you. So completely off topic. That's okay. You are looking at the queen of off topic. But I have a market coming up. It's a most expensive one I've paid so far, $125. It's a 3-day event and I'm kind of excited. You should be. In my experience, the bigger events like that are way more worth your money and your time than little like few hour long craft shows. In fact, you might notice that I do not do a lot of shows. I do like 4 or 5 a year, and I save all of my market prep time and energy to doing the big multiple day like conventions and stuff, just because I found early on that like doing the little 4 or 5 hour Christmas craft shows, it wasn't worth the time. Even though the booth fee was like $25, crochet was always like super saturated market wise, and I don't know, I just never felt like it was worth my time. So that's when I started doing only like conventions and the big festivals and things like that, where there wasn't as much competition. And yes, it's a multiple day commitment and it's a higher price point, but I have always done better at those bigger events. Valerie says, hi, Katie. I am finally able to connect to a Sawyer live event. Yay! I'm so glad that you're here, Valerie. We're going to go for just a couple more minutes because I need to go give the baby a bath and get her down to bed soon. But I'm so happy that you made it. Igor Knit says 7-Eleven Slurpees. That is where it's at. Although here in Indiana, we don't have 7-Eleven. We do have Speedway though, which it's like a sister store to 7-Eleven. They're both owned by 7-Eleven. So it's like all the same stuff, but it's officially called Speedway. And they call the drinks Speedy Freeze. Oops, almost just did a half double crochet. Yes, the Target popcorn and soda for $1. Thank you. Somebody else remembers. Oh my gosh. Brindy, is your event outdoors or indoors? If it's outdoors, I really hope that the weather is nice for you. It's still too early for me to take a little sneaky peek at the forecast for next weekend when my outdoor market is. Because I don't want to get my hopes up if it's looking like it's going to be nice. I shared this in Monday's video that the year before last, it was like 55 degrees and it had just snowed and there was snow on the ground and the entire town was white and it was beautiful. And last year it was like 96 degrees and I was 9 months pregnant, a week away from giving birth to Celeste. And I was miserable. So if we can get somewhere in between those this year, that would be phenomenal. I feel like the conventions make for really good vlogs too. I agree. It's fun to see you walk around them and for us to see your booth too. Yeah, thank you so much, Haley, for that feedback. I agree. I feel like there's a lot more action happening at those big events, you know, versus just sitting behind a table or behind a booth at a little 4-hour event, you know, which I am doing because I have the American Legion's military veterans show coming up. I think it's November 8th. That is only going to be from like 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. And I know that there's going to be other crocheters there. In fact, one crocheter who's going to be there is a viewer of the channel. So I know that the market's going to be saturated just based on that for how small of an event it's going to be. But I figured that, you know, the booth fee goes directly to supporting our veterans. So it's going to a good cause. Plus it's channel content. So even if I don't really even make any money, I'll still be able to get a video out of it and was able to donate to a good cause. So there's still branded Slurpees at your Speedway stores in Michigan. Denise, it depends on the Speedway here. It depends. Sometimes the actual machines will say Slurpee, but outside, like on the sign, they'll call it Speedy Freeze. Like, make up your mind. Maria says, OMG, when I lived in Massachusetts in my young years, that's where my friends and I used to go hang out back in the 90s at 7-Eleven. Oh my gosh. That was the thing to do, right? You had nothing else to do, nowhere else to go, so you just go hang out at a convenience store. Kids nowadays, they don't know how good they have it. All these electronics. In our day, we used to go hang out at the movie theater, out in the parking lot, because we had no money to actually go see the movies. Or we go play laser tag. That was a big thing to do when I was in high school, was laser tag. All the rage. That was back when like Fruit Ninja was popular and Flappy Bird. Laser Craze. wearing eyeliner underneath your eyes in like the little water line of your eyes. That was all very popular in my high school day and age. All right, I think I'm going to finish this row, and then we are going to call it a night since it is 8 o'clock. Now my eye itches because I touched it. We got pretty far. I got at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. This will be my 15th row that I've done today. So that's pretty good for how much I'm yapping. We used to hang out in the Kmart parking lot because they were open 24 hours. Oh, rip Kmart. Oh my gosh. We used to hang out. Oh wait, my mom dropped me off at the library after school and I would cross the street to 7-Eleven to go buy hot Cheetos. Oh my gosh. Your mom thinks that you're a good girl. You're going to go study, but you're out there getting turnt with them hot Cheetos. Don't forget the Crackle nail polish. Oh my gosh, Haley. The Crackle nail polish. And wearing tank tops underneath other tank tops. That was superb fashion. Hey Taylor, welcome. You caught us right at the tail end. Oh, and waist belts, you know, that you would wear like in the middle of your waist to snatch you. Nice thick belts that made you look like Santa Claus. That was in too. 1 a.m. and wide awake from the hilarity, thankfully not working later. Thank you for hanging out with us, Emma. I know it's late there. I know. It's only 10 a.m. where you are, Sharon. Where are you? Where are you at? What else was really popular in style in like 2012 through 2016? Oh, scene hair. With the bangs and the teasing. The scene. That was big. Peggy says, hi from Alaska. I love watching your videos. It's refreshing how unapologetically you all the time. You inspire me to keep going with my crocheting. Only been at it for 10 months. Thank you so much, Peggy. That is like the highest compliment that I can receive, honestly. I really appreciate it. The raccoon stripes, LOL. Oh my gosh. Oh, Tom's. Tom's shoes. Everybody had to have a pair of Toms, and they made your feet smell so bad. Braids for days, like Pinterest braids. Anything Blair Wolf Waldorf wore. Oh, you're in Australia. I figured you were in Australia, Sharon. North Queensland. I feel like the crazy amount of side bangs too. Yeah, I saw something the other day that was like one surefire way to tell a millennial apart from a Gen Zer is the way that they wear their bangs. If you're a millennial, then you wear your bangs like this, and if you're a Gen Z, then you get the middle part. See, when I do it, I just look like Dwight Schrute. Oh my gosh. But yeah, apparently the side bangs scream millennial. But I don't really know what I am, because I've heard that 1996 was the start of the Gen Z, and I was born in 95, so I'm a what you might call a zillennial. It's the hair part. Sperry's. I've never heard of Sperry's. Yeah, if you check yourself right now, if you wear your bangs, if you have bangs, or if you're British, your fringe, okay? If you wear your bangs slash fringe off to the side, you're probably a millennial. If you center part them, you're probably Gen Z. Side bangs and bear paws all year long, Peggy. Yes. Oh my god. The hats with the bear paws. Yes, Donna. Are you talking about Tom's? Or was that a follow-up comment? Because Tom's were kind of like boat shoes. Or wait, was that to my question? Sperry's. Wait, yes. I have heard of Sperry's, Donna. I think my dad had a pair of those. Maria says, Katie, I just love your sense of humor. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad that you're having a grand old time. Who needs to pay for circus tickets when you can just come here for free? Woo! Hang on. I gotta put my little stitch marker in here. A subscriber sent me the stitch marker. It's a little gummy bear. Isn't it cute? Okay, you guys, we got 15 rows done tonight. Valerie says, oh dear, I'm a boomer X 1966 here. That you're my mom's age, Valerie. Your bangs. Am I right? When you were in high school, middle school. My mom was technically born in 67, so she's a year younger than you. Oh my gosh, jelly shoes. I had a pair of jellies that I wore as a kid until they broke. And we went to Old Navy a few months ago, and I bought Celeste a pair of jellies, because so help me, I will instill all of my 90s fashion knowledge onto that child. She's going to be wearing butterfly clips. She's going to be wearing the jellies. All right, you guys, I am going to say goodnight. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me these past couple of hours. It has been a blast and a half. Next Monday, we'll have a This Week's Makes. Probably no Friday video. Actually, no Friday video tomorrow. I have nothing for you tomorrow. But we'll have normal video on Monday. And then the Monday after is going to be Fall Festival vlog. Hopefully something exciting happens so that I can give some sort of hook in the title and the thumbnail so that I can get out of YouTube jail that I'm still in. All right, you guys, have a fantastic night. Go eat your dinner. Go sleep. Emma, get to bed, young lady. Go to your room. Okay, good night. Have a good one, everybody. Where's my stream in? There we go. Bye. Oh, wait, really quick. Brenda, thank you, and welcome to the Cosmic Couch Club. Perfect timing. Okay, now, for real, bye.